exactly how you attract a masculine energy man, especially if you're a boss lady.
It's gonna be so good. So this episode is specifically for our business owners, our boss babes, our ladies that are in management. You've had to use a lot of your masculine energy to get the success that you've had, but it is not working in your dating and married life. So for those of you that are new here, what's up? I'm Natasha. I was a former single mama with 4 kids before I started, entering the dating scene. I was a boss babe in my wounded masculine energy. And now I help women in the area of feminine energy, inner healing, and even re regulating their hormones, which, of course, allowed me to attract my amazing husband.
Yes. And I'm Coach B, and I specialize in helping you ladies
Mhm.
understand the masculine brain. I'm also a former bachelor of 30
Yes.
plus years who married my amazing wife. So
Mhm.
I'm going to go deep into helping you ladies understand how we think.
Okay, this is gonna be so good. We're gonna cover 4 points specifically. So, ladies, take notes. I was talking with my husband this morning because we had another 2 ladies just this past, literally in the past about week.
Yes.
We've had another 2 ladies that are about to get engaged
Yes.
that are boss babes, business owners. And we've had another lady, super successful, gorgeous woman who came to us just, oh my gosh, maybe a couple weeks ago, and she messaged this morning and she was like, I haven't had this much fun dating since I was in my 20s. And she's in her 40s. Okay. So I was really thinking about all the women that we've helped lately that are now married, engaged, or about to get engaged, or just really enjoying dating for the first time in their life. And they're all super successful women. And I noticed patterns, being a coach,
Yes.
and helping so many women that we've helped over 1,000 women up to this point. You notice patterns. And our goal is to help you ladies be really, really successful in all areas of your life.
Yes.
And so I was like, okay, I noticed there's these 4 things that all these women have in common. So we're going to share that with you today.
Yes, and
Yeah.
we're going to go deep into just the specifics around it because these traits
Yes.
are consistent
Yeah.
amongst all the women that have seen success in that
Yeah.
area. They've seen success in business, but
Yeah.
most importantly, they've seen success in their relationship area. And we
Hmm.
want to help share those secrets that we've learned from the ladies
Yes.
that we've talked to over the last year or so.
Okay, this is gonna be so good. What's up? We see you, ladies. Thank you for joining us. And of course, you can drop your questions below and we will answer them. And
Yes.
hello from India. We've seen some people from India and the Philippines
Yes.
lately. That is so cool. We love it. We've had a bunch of women from the UK
Yes.
also join our Feminine Energy Academy lately, too. So, okay, let's jump into it. So, 4 trends that I've noticed with women that are getting engaged or married and who are really successful boss ladies. Okay. And let me just throw this disclaimer in here. These are women, all ages and races. Okay. So I'm talking black, brown, white women. All right. So that's not an excuse. And also, recently, the women that we've been coaching and seeing really getting that success have been women of all ages. So we're talking women in their 20s all the way up into their 60s.
Yes.
Okay. So that's also not a reason why you don't get to receive the amazing love of your life in marriage. Okay. So the first thing I notice with all these women that are so successful and are really attracting their amazing provider energy husband is when they come to us, they are so coachable. It's noticeable. They are coachable. They have that humility about them. They don't have this energy of I already know that. I already know that. Oh no, I already do that. That energy, ladies, will keep you single. Men will be turned off by that energy. Plus, it doesn't allow your coaches, us, to help you see your blind spots.
Yes, and it's so important because even from a man's perspective,
Mhm.
with that, what it shows us when you're coachable, even with your coaches,
Yeah.
no matter how much success you've had, no matter how beautiful you
Yeah.
are, it lets us know that you're able to, you're not leading with, all of your accomplishments when you're
Mhm.
talking to men. You're not leading with your beauty or anything like that. that you're
Yeah.
leading with just that receiving,
Mhm.
being in your receiving, just being able to
Yeah.
listen and conversate. And that translates so well to a masculine
Mhm.
energy man when you're looking to start relationships, when you're looking to date for marriage. When we know that you're in your receiving,
Mhm.
then it allows us to step up and want to do more. But if you're coming like, okay, I know this, just give me this, I
Mhm.
already did that, then now we're looking like, okay, that's a bit much,
Yeah.
so maybe we can pull back.
Mhm.
But it shows when you're open, especially the boss babes, because these ladies are
Mhm.
successful in so many
Yeah.
areas of their life, but they're able to humble themselves.
Yes.
They're able to just listen and get what they need so they can go out and accomplish what they want. So it really shows the masculine energy man that you're the type
Mhm.
potentially that they can date for marriage.
It's so, so true. And I think the reason why this happens is your success has come from your masculine energy in the sense
Mm,
that you worked really hard to build the success that you have in your life with your career.
mm,
And then you realize that's not how you get a man and
mm.
keep a man. It's a totally different strategy.
That's so true.
So, all your personal development books that you've read and all the hard work that you've put into your life to make you look gorgeous, because most of you women look beautiful,
Right.
you take care of your body, you're a high performer.
Mm,
We know our ladies, right? You're the high performer woman. And work hard, hustle, you're used to that, but then you see that that's not what actually attracts a
mm.
masculine
Yeah.
energy man or keeps one.
Yeah.
And so by the time you come into our world, you're like, okay, I give up. Tell me what I need to do. And I'm
Yes.
like, okay, this is perfect, because those are the women that
Yes.
typically it's just a little tweak
Yes.
here, a little tweak there, a little bit of feedback here,
Yes.
and then they get engaged and married. And
Yes.
I've seen this consistently with these types of women.
Yes. And
Yeah.
before we go on to point number two, it's the same as someone who's starting a business, because it's a
Yeah.
difference between starting a business,
Yeah.
and that's like attracting a man, but actually being successful in that
Oh,
business.
so
And
true.
that's being able to keep the man. So just being open in that area is a
Hmm.
small thing, because these ladies don't have a problem attracting the man, but
Yes.
it's about what do they desire out of it, and are they getting the marriage? Are they getting it? So
Hmm.
just being open, what we've seen, just being
Hmm.
coachable, we've seen these ladies go from situationships to
Yes.
marriage in a short time.
Yeah, and when we're talking about coachable, some areas that I find a lot of times these women need help coaching with is communication.
Mm,
So really how knowing how to communicate with the man, the masculine energy man, not in the way that you're used
mm,
to, because a lot of times you're used to managing people. You're
yes.
used to taking care of people, and you can't talk to a man like that.
Mm,
I mean, you can talk to men like that, but you're not going to be able to attract a masculine energy man. He won't have it.
yep.
So it's a skill set that you need to learn. And then also another area that I mean, this is going to lead us to point number two, but another area that these types of women really need help coaching in is the nervous system healing and detaching. So those are
Mm,
the types of things that are really subconscious that if you don't realize will keep you stuck playing in the same
yeah,
patterns.
and I want to add to that
Yeah,
point, because
go for it.
it's parallel even in business.
Yeah,
When okay, you start a business, it's doing well, but now that becomes your baby, and it's hard to detach from it.
so
It's hard
true.
to let go. It
Yeah,
might be time to sell,
yeah,
it might be time to bring in new people,
yeah.
but you're so attached to it. And even in your
I was
case,
like that.
where you had employees for years and years,
Yeah.
and not that these employees weren't good or anything like that, but as far as what you needed them for, it changed over the
Yeah.
years. And it's being able to detach and say, okay, what you did for this time was great, but
Hmm.
now the business has shifted.
Yeah.
Now I have to make the adjustment. So it's not personal, it's understanding that it's just time to make that change. And you don't want to attach so much to that business that you're
Yes.
not able to do what's necessary to get what you really desire.
Hmm.
So maybe you can go a little bit into
Yeah,
that as
that
well.
I mean, I see because I also coach them in the area of business and social media growth as well. And there's so many similarities
Mm,
between dating and business.
yes.
So yes, but okay, so I'll go into point number two because this,
Okay.
this
We'll
is
get back to it.
well, it's very much in alignment with what you're
Oh,
talking about.
nice. I don't know the point, so I'm just going straight in.
Yeah, he's just giving the masculine perspective
Yes.
on everything that we're talking about. So point number two, this is so critical, is you got to heal your masculine energy wounds.
Mm,
So a lot of times these women, super successful, strong,
mm,
resilient women, have a hard time submitting to masculine energy because it requires trust
Mm.
for the masculine. Now, we are not saying that you need to trust all men,
Mm-mm.
and we're not saying you need to submit to all men. People have to earn your vulnerability. They have to earn your trust, right? You're only fully submitting to your husband,
Yeah.
right? Once he puts a ring on your finger. And I know that's triggering for a lot of women, but just hear me out for a second, okay? Because I want to see you receive your desires,
Yes.
and this could be the one thing that's stopping you. Is if I'm having a real discussion with you and you're like, okay, because this happens all the time with ladies, I'm attracting all these guys. All these
Uh,
guys want to date me, they want to marry me, they
yeah.
want to be exclusive with me. And then they're like, but this, but that, but it's too much. It's overwhelming. He's talking to me too much, blah, blah, blah. As soon as I hear a woman start talking like that, I can already tell she does not feel safe around
Mm.
masculine energy. So I want you to ask yourself, do you trust masculine energy?
Mm.
And if you're like, I don't even know if I trust masculine energy, that's the block right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's the block that needs to be healed. And I've seen this a lot with successful women specifically, because a lot of us come from families
Mm.
where the masculine energy trust just wasn't there. It was
Yeah.
broken, right? With dads and what your mom went through and stuff like that. So we were raised by really masculine energy women that were very strong and had to do everything. So they weren't able
Yeah.
to trust masculine energy. You weren't able to really trust masculine energy. And it subconsciously comes out in dating.
Yes. And it's
Yeah.
so easy to see. Not
Yeah.
only can you look at the relationships with your husband, I mean, I'm sorry, with like your father, maybe your
Yeah.
brother, you can also look at your relationship with things like just structure.
Yes.
Would Are you disciplined at all? Is this something that you reject? Something that, okay, once it comes structure around it, now you don't want to do it anymore. Or
Mhm.
once someone puts some type of rules around it,
That's it.
now you get triggered. So
Yes.
it's not only with people, but it's around how do you
Mhm.
respond when there are
Yep.
guardrails up.
Yeah.
How do you respond when there are boundaries, or do you feel like, okay, I just want to do what I want to do?
Yeah.
If you have a challenge with that, that's so easy to see. That's probably something that you have an issue, or
Mhm.
you have a relationship challenge with the masculine, because it shows up in so
Mhm.
many ways. And this is something that definitely needs to be dealt with, something you need to make sure you address, because it'll always be, especially if
Mhm.
with a healthy masculine energy man,
Yeah.
he'll always want the structure. He'll always come to you and say, okay, this is what the kids should be doing. And that will affect your relationship, even if everything is great, you're making great money. If the structure isn't there and you don't receive the structure, you don't receive the discipline, it'll be challenging to move forward with a healthy masculine energy man.
Another sign that you're struggling in this area is you don't like being told what to do.
Hmm.
And I mean, you're a business owner. Like,
Yeah.
we're boundary breakers. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
being an entrepreneur
Yes.
and pushing boundaries. I mean, that's how we became
Hmm.
successful, right? Is by not doing what a lot of people told us to do.
Yes.
So I don't want you to abandon that part of yourself.
Yes.
But we're talking about in the area of actually dating and
Yes.
relationships. If that man has shown up consistently, he's earned your trust, he's a
Mm.
trustworthy man. That's what we're talking
Yes.
about, right? Like my husband, just ask yourself, do you get triggered if
Yes.
a man tells you what to do?
Yeah.
At work, if a man tells you what to do you get triggered
Yes.
by that, right? And exactly what you're saying, if there's boundaries there, if there's things being enforced,
Yes.
do you get triggered by that? Do you get triggered by authority,
Yes.
things like that? Because those are just subtle signs that you might have a masculine energy wound that needs to be healed. Another sign of this, and we do a lot of healing in this area with that masculine energy in the Feminine Energy Academy, is you feel like you have to do everything yourself.
Mm.
You, especially my single mamas,
Mm.
boss babes, you feel like if I don't figure this out myself, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so you put all the pressure
Yes.
on yourself. Let me know if I'm talking to anyone
Yes.
in the comments. And when you're like that, you haven't surrendered to God.
Mm.
You haven't surrendered to that higher power, that your true divine masculine head is God, right? This is why Christ calls us his bride.
Yes.
We're supposed to be the bride. But you actually have to heal that relationship
Yes.
first before the masculine comes in. Because if that relationship with the masculine
Yes.
spiritually will be mirrored in
Yes.
reality. in the 3D realm.
Yes.
So if you're struggling with that, you by nature, you're going to be in your masculine energy because
Yes.
you don't know how to submit to anything. You don't know how to surrender to God.
Yes.
So
So
you're
true.
going to think that you need to be in your masculine provider energy. And then what happens is then you end up attracting feminine men and repelling masculine energy men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good. I just want to add a little bit more to it.
Yeah.
It's to your point. When you do that, what it shows is a lack of trust. Like you were saying, you
Yes.
don't trust, okay, nobody can do it as good as me. And
Yeah.
sometimes we think we can just categorize it like that's
Yeah.
just in this area, but
Yeah.
it becomes in every area. We don't
Yes.
even allow God to do what he desires to do in
Mhm.
our life because it's taking too long. You're not doing
Yes.
it the way I want to. And then
Yes.
it spills over to relationships like, okay, he's taking too long for this. Instead of having boundaries in place, now you're just making emotional decisions and you're trying to do
Mhm.
it yourself. Okay. And that's when you see sometimes the ladies are like, okay, I'll ask him to marry me, or I'll
Yeah.
do everything to show him
Yes.
that he needs to marry me instead of just relaxing, trusting,
Yeah.
and knowing you put everything into place. You have your love list, you have your boundaries in place, you have a timeline in place.
Mhm.
So trusting those boundaries that you put in place, but what you see is the lack of trust with not only in on the job, maybe your employees you don't trust as well.
Yeah.
So you find yourself, you're on the cash register, you don't have anyone that you can trust. You're doing everything.
Yeah.
And that is something that wears you out,
Yeah.
and your hormones all over the
Yes.
place. All of these are
Mhm.
signs to show you that it may be an issue with trust if you're just doing everything in every area, not just one thing,
Yeah.
but at home, at work,
Mhm.
just everything you do, you're the one that's doing it all the time.
Yes, and I just want you ladies to know, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to heal.
Hmm.
And this is why we do so much nervous system level healing
Yes.
for women because it's subconscious.
Yes.
At a head knowledge, you're like, what do you mean? Yeah, I
Mm.
don't, I'm good with men. No big deal. I trust God. I go to church, whatever, right? I'm like, do you really?
Yes.
Do you really? Right? If you really ask yourself how you feel around masculine energy, or do you feel like you always need to control things?
Mm.
Right? You need to micromanage. You need to feel like you're the one that is, in control of
Yeah.
things, getting it done because you really don't know how to trust.
Mm.
But and it's exhausting for you as a woman because God never designed for you to be the
Yes.
man, ladies, right? This is why you get hormone issues in a
Mm.
triggered nervous system. This is why your nervous system feels overwhelmed. And this is why this is one of the foundational things that we actually heal in the Feminine Energy
Yes.
Academy, because I've seen over the years a correlation between healing that wound and a woman actually being able to get married
Mm.
to a healthy masculine man,
Yeah.
not just anyone, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Point number 3.
Point number 3. Let's get it.
I know this one's going to be your favorite
Okay.
because you talk about this to the ladies all
Okay.
the time in the Feminine Energy Academy. And the number 3 thing, especially once again, you're a successful, hardworking boss babe,
Mm.
you need to have fun.
Mm.
You need to be laughing and
Yes.
smiling way more. You
Yes.
can't be all up in your head. You're going to turn off all the men.
Yes.
But maybe you can talk about that.
Oh, that's so key. And it's
Yeah,
so sometimes it's so subconscious
it
that
is.
you'll see ladies, and we see ladies that we've coached,
Mm-hmm.
ladies that we've seen online, and these ladies will have everything in place. I mean,
Yes.
hair, eyes,
Mm-hmm.
everything, makeup, everything is looking good and on
Yeah.
point, and then they're just standing there.
Yeah.
Standing there. No teeth are showing. They look like they're just thinking about what's next, what they have to do when they get home,
Yep.
what they're going to order to eat. And that for a man, because what men do is men sit and watch before they approach. So
Mm-hmm.
men watch you, they watch how you move, they watch how you communicate. So if a man, a healthy masculine energy man, he sees you over there and you're just, looking at the sky or
Mm-hmm.
in your phone, not smiling, not having
Mm-hmm.
fun, most healthy masculine energy men aren't going to come over to you and try to change you, because
Mm-hmm.
we're not into the changing. That's not what we
Yeah.
do. We're not changing you. We're going to accept you for who you are. If that's who you are, most men don't have time for that. So they'll
Mm-hmm.
continue on. Now, it's as simple because we see even ladies that, maybe they don't have everything in place, that aren't a 10 or whatever the case, but they're fun, they're easy to be
Yes.
around, they're smiling, they're receptive to the jokes, even if the jokes aren't the funniest, right? They find a way to make it
Yes.
fun and light. And men just love being around
Mhm.
those type of women, are attracted to them, because the main thing is a man is going around working, he's busy, he's doing whatever
Mhm.
he's doing day to day. So when we come home, or when we come in your presence, the last thing we
Mhm.
want is someone who's a Debbie Downer,
Yes.
someone who just has a look on their face, and now I have to figure out, what did I do? Okay, because
Yes.
this is what men are thinking. Like, if you have a look on your face and we have a
Yeah.
relationship, he's thinking like, what did I do? Okay, did I remember to do this? Did I remember? Because we know, or we feel like you're about to approach us and tell us something that's not good. So we stay away from that. We don't
Mhm.
want any of that news. We want to make sure that you're fun, that you're enjoying yourself. So we'll go out and build a house, do whatever, because we want to make sure when we come back to you, you're feeling good and we can
Mhm.
relax around you, instead of putting up our guards and
Yeah.
now we're in fight mode verbally. Men don't need that. You won't attract a healthy masculine energy man if that's your demeanor, or if you
Yeah.
have that resting B face all the time.
Yes, and this requires a lot of self-awareness,
Yes.
especially for our East Coast babes,
Mm,
all of our East Coast women. We coach so
yes.
many women from the East Coast. And you know what? You've just learned to be like this, right? You've got to be serious. You're in hustle mode. You're in business building mode. You're thinking
Yes.
about a million things,
Yes.
and you don't realize that's showing in your face, your facial expressions. You're serious,
Yes.
and that turns men off. So you actually have to retrain your nervous system to have more fun. This
Mm,
is actually something that I retrained my nervous system back starting a couple years ago, because I was also like this, super
mm,
serious all the time, just always thinking, not really laughing or having fun. But I'm telling you, babes, once you actually relax, get out of your head, learn to have more
yes.
fun, just in general, the man's going to be way more
Yes.
attracted to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good. We can go on and on about that, but we'll get to the next point and then we'll circle back
Okay.
when we answer questions.
Okay, sounds good. So last but definitely not least, one thing, because we're talking about you actually getting the ring on your finger. We're not
Hmm.
talking about you being in another situationship,
Yes.
all right, or just attracting random dudes that want to waste your time,
Yes.
ladies. We want to help you get married and have babies if you want to have babies still. It is so important you have strategy, dating strategy.
Mm,
Specifically, rotational
yes.
dating strategy seems to work so
Yes.
well for our women. And why that is because a lot of times, you as a woman, when you're beautiful and successful and attractive and just like an amazing wife, like you're ready to get married, you want a high value man.
Mm,
Well, a high value man also has options, right? And a lot of times, men, especially nowadays, are used to situationships. They're used to dragging their feet. They're used to,
yes.
like, for example, this would have turned into a situationship if I would have allowed it,
Mm,
because it's just the norm,
yes.
right? For so many people, and especially if a person has options. And so we have found that when you rotationally date, the man takes you more
Yes.
seriously and he wants to take you off the market
Yes.
quicker. And so you filter out the guys that would just waste your time, and you attract the men that are ready to get engaged and married.
Yes. And
Yeah.
rotational dating is so important.
Yeah.
And men, forgive me with this, because
Yeah.
this isn't something that men want to talk about. But one thing that men do understand is when you're not available all the time, when
Mhm.
you're just not giving things up, like you're in a
Yeah.
relationship. Because when we talk about rotational dating, we're not talking about going and sleeping with all these guys.
No.
We're talking about getting to know guys, going on dates with them,
Yeah.
not spending all this time with them, not texting all day.
Mhm,
No,
mhm.
you go on dates with them, you have phone calls, and if things evolve and they meet your love list, the boundaries are in place, then you move forward. But you never
Mhm.
get exclusive with a guy who hasn't committed to you, a guy who doesn't want to date for marriage, a guy who doesn't line up with you. And a
Mhm.
lot of times, because we've just been taught over the years, okay, if you like someone, then you show them,
Mhm.
you're in a relationship with them, and that leads to situationships. It leads to you wondering why. Okay, I'm a boss lady, I'm doing my thing. But
Mhm,
in
mhm.
this area, and we see it so often we see it with movie stars, with ladies that are looked at as beautiful, who've been on
Yeah.
TV for years, but they've been in situationships. And
Yes.
part of it is really you making sure you're
Yeah.
rotationally dating, because that allows you to stay detached, but it also allows that man to step up or step back,
Yeah.
because the last thing we want, we enjoy competition, but the last thing we want if we're into you is
Mhm.
some other man taking you out,
Mhm.
some other man doing for you,
Mhm.
some other man having the opportunity
Mhm.
to even get with you, because we know it only takes one time. If you have a great date with him, he says the right things, you start seeing some things. Now, more of your energy may go towards him. After the third date, you
Mhm.
all may decide to go exclusive. And
Yeah.
now we're out of the picture. So, healthy masculine energy men step up quickly when they know you're not
Yeah.
sitting around waiting on them.
And this is a sign of a successful man,
Yeah.
right? Typically, these types of men, they know how to make deals quick. They
Mhm.
know how to follow through quickly, right? And so we're not, once again, we're not just telling you to rush into anything.
Not at
We're
all.
teaching how we teach things, and we actually have a process so you can vet people
Yes.
and make sure you're not wounded. Because if you are wounded, we are not telling you
Yes.
to jump into a relationship with anyone, because you're just going to attract a wounded man. I already know that,
Mm.
right? So we're talking about our women who have gone through our programs
Yes.
in the Feminine Energy Academy. This is what they've done. They've gone through our programs, they've healed their man wounds, they've healed their nervous system,
So true.
they're rotationally dating. And the other thing that they've all done that I've noticed is they say no to the wrong guys. They are willing to let go of the guys that don't want to
Yes.
date for marriage, that are, situationships, guys that are just wasting their time, guys that are just don't match what they actually want. They're able to say no to those
Yes.
guys, versus the women that are still playing in the same pattern. You haven't attracted your husband because you're still giving your energy to this situationship,
Yes.
right? And that is going to energetically block your husband.
Yes.
And I just want to say this one thing. This is really, really important. Ladies, I want you to lean in for a second, okay? Write this down if you need to. The frequency of being a wife in a marriage is very different than being in the frequency of a situationship.
Yeah.
You can't be in both frequencies at
Mm.
the same time.
Yeah.
It's like turning a dial to the TV or a radio. You can't be in both channels at the same time, or
So
you're just going
true.
to get static. You have to decide, I'm a bride, I'm a
Mm.
wife, or I'm just going to hang out in the situationship because I really like the guy.
Yes. And what we've seen as well with these ladies that have seen success in the Feminine Energy Academy, or ladies that we've coached overall, is not only because we have a lot of ways you can get information, and on YouTube
Yeah.
for us, that's more about the awareness. That's more
Right.
about, making you realize, like, okay, I am doing that. But
Yeah.
we go so much deeper in the FEA. And what I notice about these ladies is
Mhm.
these ladies make decisions quickly. They're willing to
Yeah.
invest in
That's it.
themselves to the next level. I know you've spoken about it so many times, where
Yeah.
you spent hundreds of thousands of dollars investing into yourself.
Yeah.
And it's those that are willing to make those investments. And we're not just saying with us, it's many ways you can make
Yeah.
investments, but that takes it to the next level, because it's only so much you get.
Yeah.
And just think about it, just generally speaking,
Mhm.
it's only so much you get when you're just getting the information. Okay, I'm just looking on YouTube, I get so much. But
Yeah.
when you go a little deeper, when you start looking, maybe reading books, getting involved in communities, able to get the answer
Yeah.
in the moment, that's when you take it to the next
Yeah.
level. A lot of times we even hear ladies that have joined the Feminine Energy
Yeah.
Academy. Okay, I listened to you for a couple of months, then I jumped in. First day,
Yeah.
I've seen results. First week, I've seen results.
Yeah.
So it's willing to invest in yourself to the next level. Great that you're on here getting the information, but taking it to the next level is when you'll see those results.
Yeah, because otherwise you just have more head knowledge. And
Mm.
that's, that worked for your business, but you need to embody
Mm.
these changes at a nervous system level. And we can tell this because we coach so many women
Yes.
by how you walk, how you talk, the type of men you're
Yes.
attracting, right? So that will tell you right away if you're actually embodied in this, or you just have a bunch of head knowledge.
Yes.
And I also have noticed with the ladies that ended up getting engaged or about to get
Mm.
engaged, there was always a conversation they needed to have with me
That's so true.
to help them re-regulate right before they got engaged, because
Mm.
it was like, oh, he said this, he doesn't want to get married for a year and a half, and I want to, be married by the end of this year, or he's doing all this stuff for me, I don't know if he's the one. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're self-sabotaging, woman,
Yeah.
stop it. Or like money, conversations around finances, and just coaching help of how to have those types of
Yes.
conversations with him. So that's a big thing that we teach our
Yeah.
ladies, is having those types of conversations before you get engaged and married, so you know that you're marrying a provider man and not just a man that you're going to end up having to take care of. Right. So
Yeah.
in those types of situations, most women haven't been coached. So
Mm.
it's a skill set with how you're talking to the masculine.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And one of our FEA ladies, Coach B, thank you for being an example of what a healthy masculine
Mm.
man amplifies. More men need this type of influence. And
Well,
definitely thank you
speaking of
so
which.
much. I know we're definitely working on real soon. We'll be doing some stuff for the men as well on
Yeah.
YouTube. So definitely stay tuned for that. We're definitely here to help whatever it takes to
Hmm.
help people have healthy relationships
Yeah.
is our end goal.
Yeah.
So definitely we're going to be doing that. But it's so much work that we had to do individually
Yes.
because I'm telling you all
Hmm.
this about okay situationships, about how the man thinks, because that's my past.
Yeah.
I'm not just telling you this from a head nod from okay, this is what men do. No, these are situations that I found myself in until I got healing, until I
Mhm.
recognized.
Yeah.
And then after recognizing it, then start getting mentors, start listening to different stuff,
Yeah.
start talking to different people. Because most of us, and
Hmm.
this is most men, it's so many good men out here, but so many men don't have information. Maybe
Yeah.
they didn't have their dads growing up, or their dads didn't have those conversations with them.
Yeah.
And now you're just in relationships doing things the way you saw the guys in the neighborhood do it,
Yeah.
the way you saw guys on TV do it. So definitely here to help the men, but it's so much work that you have to make sure you do. But for the ladies,
Hmm.
we have everything you need right here, right
Yeah.
now. And you'll be able to attract those men that are already ready because
Yeah.
it's so many men that are ready, that have gotten things in order, that are healed, and that
Mhm.
are looking for a wife. So just following small steps, Coach Tasha and I are giving you, you'll be able to attract that man in no time. So definitely appreciate you though for sharing that as well.
And ladies, remember, the masculine responds to the feminine.
Hmm.
The masculine responds to the feminine. This is why you'll have one man who will be in a situationship for 5 years
Yes.
with one
Yes.
woman. That ends, he gets with another woman and they're engaged in 6 months, right? Because he's responding to her energy. Right. So I mean, this was us.
Yes.
Right. So this is why, because a lot of women are like, how do I change him? How do I get
Mm.
him to step up? How do Okay, and let me tell you, ladies, you work on you.
Yes.
You do everything I teach you to do
Yes.
in the Feminine Energy Academy. Both Coach B and I teach you in the Feminine Energy Academy. It's a win-win situation for you. One of two things are going to happen. I guarantee it. Okay. Full money back guarantee for
Hmm.
this. Either the wrong guy will fall away and the right guy you'll attract, or I should say the wrong guy will fall away, or you will attract the right guy.
Hmm.
Or the guy that you're with, maybe he did fall away, but he'll come back proper, like in
Hmm.
our
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no matter what, it's a win-win situation. But if you find yourself so attached to these guys so quickly, that's what's keeping you stuck, babe.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
And shout out to one of the viewers from Johannesburg, South
Oh,
Africa.
amazing.
Yes.
We actually have a lot of Africans
Yes.
in the Feminine Energy Academy as well. And it's so cool because a big thing of what we do is we help you online date. Right?
Mm.
So we met in different countries
Yes.
internationally. A lot of women that are now engaged and married that we've coached met internationally. And so this is why dating right now in this day and age is so cool, because you literally have access to the entire globe.
Mm.
But you need strategy, right? You need help with your dating profiles,
Yes.
your energy work, making sure you're on the right frequency of attracting the right men. You need to learn how to communicate with these guys, and before you know it, you're going to attract your husband, like
Yes.
so many women that we have helped.
Yes. And shout out as well. Said I just took a decision to date and see what's in my pool. Boom. I come across this podcast.
See, you were meant to watch this. And actually, we have a masterclass this Saturday,
Yes.
exclusive masterclass for the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. And we are going deep on communication. Okay. So, what we're doing, it's all about you embodying that soft girl energy. And we're specifically talking about how you walk, how you
Yes.
talk, and how you communicate with the masculine. So, if you want to up level in that skill, which I really think is like the number one skill you can master, as a woman so you can influence men and get what you want, but
Yes.
in a healthy way in dating and marriage, then you can jump in the FEA. It's free right now to try it out. And we are doing the masterclass on Saturday.
Yes, yeah. So shout out as well, San Diego, at the airlines. They're at work watching as
Oh, I
well.
love
So
it. I love it.
definitely appreciate it. And also, every week, of course, we do our master classes,
Yeah.
but once a month, I actually get on and help coach the ladies,
Yeah.
giving them a man's perspective, really going deep into you. We usually have topics, kind of going deep into that, and also answering questions. And what we found with this, the ladies, not only because they're so coachable, and
Yeah.
our ladies are so coachable. So shout out to the ladies at the FEA
Yeah.
if you're online now, because they're seeing these results just
Yeah.
talking and coaching and giving
Yeah.
them the man's perspective. Because a lot of
Yeah.
times, most men, and I say this so much, most men, if you're friends with them, it's always an ulterior motive. Most men aren't looking for women friends. So in our case, I'm the big brother.
Yes,
So
they all say that.
I'm the one that
Mhm.
helps the ladies out, helps them understand I don't have a horse in the race. I'm
Yeah.
good. Everything
Mhm.
is good on this end. So really
Yeah.
able to go deep and help the ladies understand not only what we're thinking, but why we're doing what we're
Yeah.
doing, and also having to answer questions. And we've just seen so much growth in the ladies
Mhm.
just in a short time. But having that really kind of changes the game, because it's a lot of times we have ladies that are helping, you're helping the ladies, but having that masculine energy man who's married,
Yes.
the man who's already married, I'm not coming from a single man's perspective or with
Yeah.
any ulterior motive,
Yeah.
the women are getting the results.
Yeah, exactly. It's so important that you're learning from people, just in general in life. You're learning from people that are embodied in what you want.
Hmm.
Because there's a lot of coaches on the scene right now, unfortunately, and they're not embodying what they're talking about,
Yes.
right? So that's really important for you to be choosing coaches where they
Yes.
are actually embodied in the things that you want. And the other thing, and I always say this to you ladies, is times have changed so much.
Hmm.
Dating nowadays
Yes.
is so different than dating 15 years ago, right? So if you feel like a fish out of water and dating feels intimidating and you dread it and you don't even know where to start, you
Yes.
feel overwhelmed, I understand.
Yes.
This is literally why I created the Feminine Energy Academy, was because I was like, I want women to get the help and the tools that I needed when I was a single mom
Yes.
trying to figure this out. And then of course we have Coach B. You get to
Yes.
understand the masculine brain,
Yes.
who was a bachelor forever, had
Yes.
a failed engagement, and you get to
Yes.
understand how the masculine thinks and what really influences them.
And someone